Question that I want to go over today is it necessary for a student to have a 3-year program to excel and get a very high SAT or high ACT score, maybe even a 2400 SAT or a 36 ACT? Is it necessary to have a 3-year tutoring program? Let me speak briefly about why I'm addressing this question. Recently, I had the pleasure and honor of being approached to be part of a long-term tutoring program for SAT and ACT. And the premise of this program was that the students would be in tutoring for 3 years, working toward getting a perfect SAT or ACT score, or extremely close to that. And I have to admit that when I first heard it, and the fact that I was offered to be part of this program, it was a very intriguing concept to me. However, upon further thought, I do not think it is the right approach for the SAT or ACT. And I'm going to share some observations with you on it right now. First, I think it will stifle learning, because it's one thing to have a 2-month, 3-month, even a 6-month SAT or ACT prep program. A student works toward, and they sprint it out and get it done. But when you start talking about 3 years, you're talking about creative learning that has been stifled. Some of the fundamentals that need to be worked on, not necessarily being addressed. So it's really 3 years of being tutored or taught towards a test. This is an unfortunate approach. Now, my understanding in this concept is that there was going to be a certain amount of remediation in it. Getting up to grade speed, getting up to where you should be in the grades. But ultimately, when I look at it, I really think that what it amounts to is a way for a tutor or tutoring agency, tutoring center, to ensure themselves to have long-term clients, a long-term stream of income. And you know what? I understand that. We all have bills to pay. We all have things that we need to use money for. It's a useful tool. However, when I really look at it, my own philosophy is I would rather help the student with that particular need, and then look at other areas to really help them become advanced, such as speed reading. Speed reading can change a person's world. In this digital age, the amount of data that's thrown at us, the information overload, as the cliche goes, is huge. That is, to me, a huge need for that to be worked on. Mastering math, very important. Mathematical concepts, fundamentals have to be mastered to go on to the higher level courses. Fundamentals of English grammar and writing. These are all very worthwhile fundamental things to work on. And if that is part of a long-term program, detached from a standardized exam, I'm all in favor of it. But orienting it toward learning towards a test. Now, I'm all in favor of testing because there has to be a way of measuring things. There has to be a way of teachers and tutors and students being held accountable. I'm all in favor of the test. But we need to look at what purpose they are. And the purpose of a test is to measure. The purpose of learning is to grow mentally, to grow intellectually, to be able to cope with the vast amount of technological change that is going on and is continuing to accelerate. So therefore, my observation is that this is not where we need to be. And I think that what really needs to be kept in mind is that when it comes to SAT and ACT, we're really talking about a sprint. Now, you can sprint and then take a rest, and sprint and take a rest again. So therefore, a student might, well, take the ACT freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, possibly senior year. Same thing on the SAT. However, once they've achieved a goal, when they've sprinted out and got where they need to, it's time to move on. There's many other things that can be done, and there's many other types of overlooked tests that I would prefer to help students with after they've mastered and gotten where they needed to with the ACT. That's my thoughts on the necessity of long-term tutoring for SAT and ACT. I hope you found this helpful, and I welcome any questions you may have. You can contact me at tutorpro88@gmail.com, affordable-tutor.com.